Welcome to the Capstone Strategy class. In this video, I'm going to introduce you to the general topic that we're going to be talking about, and that is strategy. I don't tend to refer to this material as business policy. I just call it out-and-out strategy. You'll see from my graphics on the slide that I'm going to equate strategy to football. I do that for two reasons. First of all, it's the perfect metaphor. Secondly, I'm a huge football fan, so something I know a little bit about. Here's why I think that football is such an apt metaphor for strategy. The first is just like a football game is contested, so is strategy. The fundamental question of strategy is, why do some firms outperform others? That means there are winners and losers, just like any sports game. Some teams outperform others, and it's reflected in their win and loss columns. And that's very important to understand. This is not a static world. This is a situation where we are always going to be contested in a changing world. When we get into the textbook, you're going to see some outdated examples. Companies that are probably spoken of favorably 4 years ago when the textbook was written that no longer are in such good shape. That's the way things go. We're going to take the situation, or we're going to take the perspective of some of the great quarterbacks like Tom Brady or Peyton Manning. It's not really accurate to refer to just the coaches because from the standpoint of doing strategy, the people who are doing strategy are actually out on the field. They're the players. They're not just the coaches. And so what separates Tom Brady and Peyton Manning and other quarterbacks like them from an average quarterback or a below average quarterback in the NFL? One of the things that separates them is their ability to walk up to the line of scrimmage, survey the defense, what do they have out there, understand the players that are on their team, their strengths and weaknesses, and then change the play to better match what the offense is trying to do, given that the defense has tipped their hand. And that's part of the great chess match that's out there in the football field. And that's very much what strategy is about. It's about surveying the environment, the marketplace. What is my firm good at? What are my weaknesses? What are the opportunities and threats in the real world? Then making a decision, running a play, and then assessing the results. And so that's the next thing I think is such powerful is strategy is a set of iterated decisions. It's not just one thing. So it's not like a football game kicks off, they run one play and go, well, that's it. We see whether we won or lost. They run a play, they assess what's happened, they make an adjustment, and they call another play, and they run that play. And so it's a set of iterative decisions that build on one another, and that's very much like strategy. Things are not done in isolation. There's a history to them. There's a desired future effect. The other thing I like that is important to consider about strategy in football is this is not about the running backs practicing. This is not about the wide receivers doing their own thing. So in a sense, it's not fantasy football where you buy the performances of individual groups. It's about what the team does as a whole. In some of your previous MBA courses, you've been focusing on the functional disciplines, the accounting, the finance, the marketing. Now we're going to bring all that together into a team, and we're going to play a game, and we're going to see who wins and who loses. The final thing that I'd like you to consider is that there are many stakeholders in the strategy process, just like there are many stakeholders in the NFL. I've got that graphic in there of Cowboy Stadium, and you can look at just the 22 fellows that are on the field actually conducting that play. If you widen the camera just a little bit, you see the people on the sidelines. You see other players, you see coaches, you see medical staff, you see broadcasting people. Widen it a little bit wider, and you see the fans, some for the home team, some probably against the home team. And this is where Cowboy Stadium isn't the perfect metaphor. If you widen it up a little bit further, you see the environmental conditions. Is it windy? Is it hot or cold? Is it raining? Is it snowing? All of these things have a real impact on what's happening. So there are multiple stakeholders involved in strategy, just like there are in football, and those stakeholders have varying levels of influence about the outcome that's actually on the field and seemingly just between those 22 fellas. Well, even if you don't like football, I hope I've managed to get you excited about the course, because there's a lot to be excited about. This is a fascinating course answering a fascinating question, and I trust at the end of the day you will find this to have been one of the most useful courses that you've ever taken. We're going to dive in the subsequent videos into some of the particulars of how we're going to have all this fun. Join me then.